Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to my show. I got a lot to go over today. Bunch of stuff happened last week. Let me get to it. I almost lost y'all. A few days ago, I got locked out of my account for this podcast. I know y'all are like, how the fuck you get locked out of your own podcast? It happened. The website I use to make this podcast on, they're merging together with Spotify. And so they was like, we're going to transfer all your information to your Spotify account that's linked to your email address. Then I was like, fine, whatever. I didn't really want to do it, but I had no choice. So I was like, okay, I'll link my Spotify for Podcasters account together with my regular Spotify account. And then, so they sent all my information to my email address. The stupid idiots, they sent all my info to the wrong email address instead of sending it to my current Jason Buff email address. They sent everything to my old email address, AnimeFreak2003. I haven't used that email address since fucking 2003, when I was a teenager. I'm like, why the fuck did that old ass email address even show up? How did it even pop up on there? The fucking idiots sent everything over to that email address, and I couldn't access my account. I couldn't even open up that old email address because it's practically dead. I haven't used that email address in a long ass time. So then after that, I had to go onto the Spotify for Podcasters website. I had to go to the fucking IT tech support chat room. Had to talk to some fucking Geek Squad nerds. I was on there for like 5 hours trying to get back my podcast. I was telling them I got locked out of my podcast. Help me. Just send all my info to my current email address, and they said they weren't able to. So I was talking to one dude named Charlie. He was cool. He was helping me out, but then after being in the chat room for like a fucking hour, the internet froze. And then I got kicked out. I had to start it over again. I had to get back into the fucking chat room. So when I got back in the chat room, I had to start over and talk to somebody else. And I was talking to some girl named Pamela. And then she started to help me out. After like 2 hours, she was like, good news. You can access your podcast again. Then I was like, okay, cool. What next? Then she said, I'm going on my lunch break. I was like, what? Are you fucking serious right now? Right when I'm trying to fucking unlock my podcast, you going on a goddamn lunch break? Shit! So she went on her fucking lunch break. And then another fucking bitch came in. Another tech support nerd bitch. She came in. And then I had to explain everything over to her again. I had to explain everything all over. That took like an additional half hour. So we finally came to a compromise. I was like, what I gotta do to get my podcast back? And she was like, you're gonna have to create a new email address. I was like, fuck. So that took me about 10 minutes to create a new email address. Just so I can get my podcast back. I don't even need this email address because I already got an email address. I got 2 email addresses. That's more than enough. Alright, so after that, yeah, I was able to retrieve my podcast. Like, oh, that was a close call. I almost lost my own show to some technical bullshit. I would have had to start all over. Probably jump to a new network. I really don't have it in me to do that again. I'm just glad I got my show back. So that's taken care of. Then also another thing's going on this week. J-Dog, he was mad at me for a while. He was mad at me for a couple of weeks. He didn't talk to me. He was talking about I wasn't contributing enough with the music. I'm like, hey, I wrote all the lyrics. I did most of the vocals. My work is done. This fool talking about he wants me to help more on the production side. He wants me to get involved more musically. He wants me to pick up an instrument and learn how to play. I'm like, dude, I am a grown-ass man. I don't have time to pick up an instrument and learn how to play. I got a job. I got bills and shit. So he was mad about that. He texted me a few days ago, and he was like, "You gonna contribute more to the project? You got anything new for our project?" I was like, "I'm working on a new project. I'm doing porn on Pornhub. I'm uploading pictures of me jacking off." He was furious about that. I'm like, "Hey man, I gotta do what I gotta do to make money. I'll do whatever it takes to get out of Chicago. Jack off on camera. Fuck ugly chicks. Go down on them. Sell my dick, sell my butt. I'll sell my baseball cards. I'll sell my soul. Sell my video game collection. Well, not the video games. I ain't gonna give up the video games. But you get the point. Times are desperate right now. Inflation is through the roof. It's hard getting by out here. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. If that means getting on camera and shaking my wee-wee, then so be it. I'll do it. Be a whore for the money. Yeah. I don't care, man. I don't see nothing wrong with it, just like checking off on camera. Like, women do it all the time. There's chicks out there that are like, they've made an entire career out of masturbating on camera. They've gotten rich and made thousands of dollars without ever having to get fucked on camera. So I'm going to try that. Try to make as many videos as possible without being forced to fuck an ugly chick. Like, if you see me, like, making out with, like, some old wrinkled bitch on camera, then you know I've hit rock bottom. But you don't even have to look on camera to see that. You can go outside and see that. Like, so many dudes are desperate these days. It's so hard getting chicks. Like, a lot of dudes, they're like, they have they're resorting to lowering their standards to get laid. Like, I see it all the time. Like, these old wrinkled bitches, they're holding hands in public with, like, some young stud. And then everybody be like, whoa, she's a cougar. Like, no, she's not. A cougar looks good. That ain't no fucking cougar. That's an alley cat right there. But no. You ain't gonna see me go out like that. Me in public with like some wrinkled ass sugar mama. No, it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna make my own money. Alright, enough about porn. It's embarrassing talking about this shit. Let me talk about something else. Alright, yeah, let me talk about, I just bought this new video game. I've been playing it for a week. It's not an ordinary game. It's not from America. It's a Japanese exclusive game. It's not sold in stores over here. It's not available on the PlayStation Store. I had to go on eBay and order this game directly from Japan. The name of the game is called Shrouded in Shadows. It's such a cool looking game. I saw it on YouTube. I saw some footage of the game. I'm like, I gotta have this game. This game looks so awesome. So I've been playing it for a few days. Like this game is like nothing I've ever played before. There's like no fighting involved in it. It's basically like the game is like, it's like a Godzilla movie. It's like being inside of a Godzilla movie, but it's shown from the point of view of a civilian. You know how it looks in all those Godzilla movies, like Godzilla, he's walking around just tearing the streets up, just tearing shit up, and you see all the people on the streets just running and screaming like, ah! Like this game it's told from their perspective, like those fucking civilians. Like, dude, this game is awesome. It's like there's no fighting involved in this game. It's like this dude's just you play as this one dude and he's just like trying to survive. Like so far, like I've completed about like 8 stages in the game. I'm like almost near the end. It's like the first stage, a dude's just on the streets. He's like in front of a 7-Eleven just chilling. And then some monsters coming in the street. It was a Ultraman. So there's a bunch of like famous like Japanese like giant monsters in this game. It's like they put like all the most famous Japanese monsters into this one game. Like I'm familiar with Godzilla and Ultraman, but I don't know the rest of these motherfuckers. Like when the original Godzilla movie came out, like it wasn't just a popular movie. It wasn't just a hit. Like it sparked a new genre right there. It just created a new genre of just like giant monsters tearing up the streets. I don't know what they call this genre. I forgot. So they put all these fucking monsters in there, and they put Ultraman in there. Like Ultraman, he's not really a monster. He's like some anime dude, like some Power Rangers shit. I barely know who he is. Like I had an action figure of him when I was a kid. Well, it wasn't really Ultraman. It was some other dude. It was like this one show. It was like a Power Rangers ripoff. I forgot the name of the show. It only lasted 1 season. But anyways, I had an action figure. He looked just like Ultraman. Okay, so anyways, in this game, okay, it's like the first stage is a dude. He's just on the street. Then Ultraman comes and just tears some shit up. Ultraman's fighting some other dude that looks just like him. He's some kind of clone. I don't know what's going on because like the entire game is in Japanese. There's no English subtitles. So I'm just trying to guess and figure it out. Ultraman's fighting a clone of himself. He's just wrestling this dude and then the streets are getting torn up. So the dude, the main character in the game, he runs out of the 7-Eleven. He runs down the street. Okay, then the next stage, he runs into a skyscraper building. He tries to hide in there, but then the skyscraper gets destroyed. So then he runs out of the skyscraper. Then he runs underground into a subway tunnel. He gets on a subway train. And then the subway gets destroyed by some fucking spider monster things. And then he runs out of the tunnel. He runs back to the streets. He gets in a car. He drives over a bridge. And then the fucking bridge gets destroyed. And then after that, he gets in a boat. He drives off in a boat. He's got like some bitch with him, like some girl. And they're like in I forgot what you call those boats, the little small ones. It's like not the main boat, but it's like an emergency boat. He's in like this small motorboat. And he's like driving in the water. Then like he runs into a cargo ship, like a Navy ship. And so like the Navy dudes rescue him and the girl. Then they get on the Navy boat and they're just chilling, relaxing. And then Godzilla jumps out of the fucking water and smashes the ship. And then he gets back into that emergency motorboat and gets back to the mainland. Like, oh man, this game is awesome. And there's no fighting at all in this game. Like, he can't fight back. He can't do nothing. Just run. The game's simple, even though it's completely in Japanese and I don't understand nothing they say. The game is very simple. It's basically just running from point A to point B. And then also there's a subplot in the game where it's like the civilian dude, he accidentally stole some money from a Yakuza dude. Like the Yakuza had like a briefcase full of money. And then like the dude was about to take something, and the Yakuza dude got mad and pulled out a gun, and then he started chasing a civilian dude. And it's like you can't even fight against the Yakuza. It's like every time the Yakuza thug comes near you, he'll swing, and all you can do is like dodge the punch. Just dodge it, that's it. Just dodge and run. You can't fight back. All you can do is just run away like a little bitch. I tell you, this is the coolest game I've ever seen. Like, yeah, Japan, they got like some real interesting exclusive games over there. That's what pisses me off. Like, They released a bunch of good games here, but they got even better stuff over there that they never even thought about releasing in America. So yeah, I'm having success beating this Godzilla game. But it's not the first time I played a game entirely in Japanese. Like a few weeks before I bought Shrouded in Shadows, I bought this virtual reality game that was a Japanese exclusive. It was made by the same company. It was Bandai. That's like a popular international Japanese toy brand. They're responsible for all the Dragon Ball Z games. Like, they're an international brand, so I don't understand why they didn't release this game in America. But anyways, yeah, Shrouded in Shadows, whatever the fuck. Yeah, that was made by Bandai. And then like the previous Japanese game that I bought was made by them too. It was this VR game, virtual reality game where it's like you're helping a Japanese college schoolgirl study in the summertime. The game's called Summer Lesson. I know it's some kind of weird like fetish thing. Helping a scantily clad girl study. Hey man, it sounds like a pervy game, but that girl was dumb as hell. You know, I was her tutor, so I helped her learn. She got straight A's because of me. She passed because I tutored her. That was a cool game, but it was short as fuck. Like, I paid $25 for that game. The game only, like, lasted for, like, an hour. But, yeah, after I easily just beat that game that was completely in Japanese with no English subtitles, I was like, yeah, I can go again. I can play this Godzilla game. The thing that's weird about these Japanese exclusive games, like, okay, yeah, there's no English subtitles. It's like it's completely in Japanese, but the menu will be in English. I don't get that. Like the part at the beginning of the game where it says press start, that'll be in English, or like if you get killed and it says game over, it'll say that in English. But everything else is in Japanese. That's fucking weird. Then there's like this really cool Japanese exclusive game I want to buy. It's on the PlayStation 1. They never released it in America. It's this game called Pepsi Man. Yes, Pepsi Man. You can assume what it's about. It's about Pepsi. It was like Pepsi had their own superhero. Pepsi Man. He runs around saving people by giving them Pepsi. Like in the game, like someone will be just laid out on the street, just completely dehydrated, and Pepsi Man shows up to the rescue and gives the motherfucker some Pepsi. Like, dude, this game looks so awesome. I don't know why they didn't release this in America. It's completely bonkers. Like, come on, Pepsi Man? Pepsi is from America. How can you make a game about Pepsi and not release it in America? You made it in a Japanese exclusive. That's bullshit. I'm mad about that. I really want to play Pepsi Man. That game looks so cool. Pepsi Man. That game's expensive as fuck if you want it to. They're charging like $200 for a used copy of Pepsi Man on eBay. And then the thing is, like, it's expensive to buy that game. And then once you get that game, you can't just put it on your regular PlayStation. You got to get a Japanese PlayStation to play that game. Because back in the day, you know, all these systems were like region locked. Like, meaning, you know, a game from Japan is only going to play on Japanese hardware. Like, a PlayStation game from Japan is only going to play on a PlayStation console from Japan, a Japanese PlayStation. That's how it was back in the day. Like, with new technology, like, I don't know how it is with the PS5, but like the PS4, it's not region locked. Like, you can play any game from around the world on the PS4. But back in the day, before the PS4, like PS1 and any other system, you would have to have like a system from Japan to play Japanese games. So I don't even know where to look for a Japanese PlayStation. Yeah, eBay, of course, but you know, I don't trust that. Like, buying a used system off there, because it might be broken. So yeah, I'm pissed off about that. Really want to play Pepsi, man. That's about it for now. I think I pretty much covered everything for this week. I'm currently at work doing security, but nobody's around. I'm not even in uniform, just sitting in the booth chilling. Well, not really chilling. It's 80 degrees today. It's hot as fuck in here. I'm up in here sweating. Like, yeah, sure, I can turn on the air conditioner. I could have had the air conditioner on for this whole episode, but then the air conditioner would have been loud as fuck and you wouldn't be able to hear my voice. That's why I had to turn the AC off. Yep. Alright, folks. I'm gonna get back to work. Get back to sipping my drink. Probably make some new porn videos later of me jacking off. Maybe. Alright, folks. Catch you later on the Jason Buff Podcast.